You can't go home again. If you've been with me for a while, you know I'm chock full of ideas for saving small towns. It comes from the place where I grew up, Pine Bluff, also called Crime Bluff at times. It was once more dangerous than Detroit. After I moved away, of course. Maybe it was the threat of me being a Batman type punisher that kept the criminal element at bay. Or maybe it was the three strikes law in California that sent a lot of two-time felons from the Golden State to their grandmas and aunts back in the land of opportunity. That was Arkansas's nickname for a while, back when Bill Clinton dragged us from number 49 on every list up to number 48. Thanks to the Banana Republic style leadership of 2 decades of backwoods and backdoor deal making, we're back at 49. Thank God for Mississippi. Pine Bluff is off the list, though. Now Little Rock makes the top 5 most dangerous and high crime lists. Pine Bluff is trying to do some good, remaking Main Street, investing in a new arts center and a new library. They have a grant writer with one job: apply for as much as they can qualify to get and plow it back into the city. It looks good, in parts. 1 block away from Main Street looks like a war zone, though. There are 500 distressed and burned out properties on a list to be demolished. Thousands of homes that look like they are on the verge of falling in. And a drive down the 2 major streets show closed stores, abandoned malls, and 2 things that every casino imports or allows when they go into a town to invigorate the economy: pawn shops and liquor stores. You can't go home because everything looks smaller, dirtier. I know it's not a real effect, though. We idealize the 50s as this great time in America. If you were white and middle class, it might have been. Except all the bad stuff out in the open still went on, just behind closed doors. I mean, if you were an altar boy in the 50s, there's a pretty good chance your priest did some unholy things to you. And now, news is coming out that the Southern Baptist Convention leadership did some of the same shenanigans, moving preachers around when they were accused or caught. So maybe I remember Pine Bluff in a different light. Maybe I remember my grandparents' home in a different light too. The good stuff, or the perspective of good stuff. When you run long distance, everything hurts. But suffering is in the mind. It's about perspective. If you focus on the foot pain, the back pain, the aches that pop up all over your mind, that's what you concentrate on. It's for a reason. Your brain has one function. It wants to keep you alive. So when you hurt, the brain wants you to focus on the pain, the bad part, so you will stop doing whatever it is that is causing that bad part to happen. Maybe that's why we call politicians brainless. They do not focus on what causes the bad parts to make it stop. Running long distance teaches you to focus on the good and ignore the pain. Work through it. Think about the good stuff. The sun on your face, the wind on your skin, the beer you'll have at the finish. Maybe that's how a lot of memories work too. Focus on the good. Play it up. Soon enough, it becomes the main memory and narrative. All the bad stuff is minimized. It happened, sure, but it's not what defines you. Not what defines a space or a place. Someone pointed out to me as a reminder that the past does not exist. It is a ghost. The future does not exist. It hasn't happened yet. All you have is the here and now, and any attempt to evoke the past is just a story full of ghosts, memories. And memories are funny things. We talk about the past with other people to build concrete walls around our memories. And sometimes Those memories are just opinions we need reinforced. There's a place in Pine Bluff called Rich's. I swear, they have the best hamburgers in the world. I haven't had one in 30 years. But my memory is they are the best. The same for a cherry Coke from Durwood's Dairy Bar on Cherry Street. You would be unable to replicate their formula, which was maraschino cherries and syrup from a metal container slurped into an old Coke. Yet I know someone from Northwest Arkansas who swears by a dairy bar up there. And I have a friendly debate with a friend from Florida who puts his hand on the Bible for a spot down by Kissimmee. 3 different memories of 3 different places that all had the best cherry Coke we ever tasted. 3 options, 3 opinions. Can they all be right? Or is the memory of them wrong? Could it be both? Right and wrong at the same time? Like Schrodinger's cat that exists in all states until you open the box? A memory is both right and wrong until you share it. Then it becomes one thing or the other. My Mama's place is gone. Her home burned. Papaw built it with his dad in the 60s, and whoever bought it after they died lost it. Now it's rubble and soot and a yard full of half-burned possessions that never should have been there in the first place. It's a graveyard now, full of the ghosts of memories. Sunday afternoons spent on the patios with Papaw grilling out. The pecan trees where we collected nuts for years. The giant oak where we learned to swing on a Goodyear and a chain. Blackened and charred. The garden, gone. The garage, gone. The barn, the shed, all gone. The house, gone. Nothing to go home to now. Except, maybe. Someone told me there was something different about people who want to change the world. 3 things. They think it can be done. They think they're the only ones who can step up to do it. And they suffer from constant insecurity that they're not good enough, strong enough, or fast enough to make it happen. Can Pine Bluff be saved? Can I bring home back from the ashes? Or should we let Pine Bluff and the 1,000 towns just like it rest in peace? When do we decide that something isn't worth saving? Or do we always give it one more last chance to live up to the memory? Am I talking about Pine Bluff or America?